This report comes out and it recommends sprawl development. Remember that black and white map?
This is unique. You will not find anything else like this anywhere else.
There's condos springing up like mushrooms overnight. We need that park and it's entirely appropriate. Don't give up. As long as there's not a bulldozer on that site, we can win this battle.
There's been a lot of controversy around Birch Cove Blue Mountain Park lately after a report came out recommending a suburban development for what was originally planned to be parkland. But how did we get to this point? Well, in 2006, we, as Halifax Regional Municipality, decided that the wilderness area around Birch Cove should be designated a regional park.
This area includes properties that have been privately owned for over 50 years, and the property owners here don't agree that their land should be turned into a wilderness park. In 2009, they requested to develop their lands through a secondary planning process. That was turned down by council.
A few months later, in 2009, the provincial government designated their portion of the Birch Cove lands as a wilderness area. So, in 2014, HRM Council began a negotiation process between the property owners and the city for the remaining portion of the park. That was facilitated by a third party. When the facilitator's report came out, it was clear that HRM staff and the developers were not able to come to an agreement. And now there are two sides to this.
HRM staff believe that the development plan fails to meet most of the environmental goals of the original park plan. It basically wouldn't be a wilderness area anymore.
On the other hand, in order to develop anything, the landowners estimate they'll need to spend $30 million just to pay for the utilities and the roads to the land. And they believe that the proposed plan is the amount of development necessary to pay back that investment.
The facilitator would have been faced with a sticky situation. Either don't come to a resolution and not do your job, or choose between one of two contradictory options. So they ended up disagreeing with HRM staff's assessment. In the report, they assert that the development plan from the property owners achieved regional park objectives while being affordable enough for the city. That plan is to develop these areas and to sell the rest of the land to the city for $6 million.
This report was presented to the public on June 20th, and although we weren't there ourselves, apparently it was pretty heated. To make matters worse, Council had previously decided that all feedback for this consultation would be written down instead of voiced.
So when over 200 angry people showed up in a room meant for 120, all wanting to tell the mediator how they felt, the team presenting got a little overwhelmed and decided to shut down the meeting early.
Nothing personal, but if I was faced with 200 angry people, I might leave too.
To me, it seems like a lack of communication has really allowed this situation to become overheated. So to cool off, I visited Birch Cove Blue Mountain Park with a good friend of mine, Akhtar Abbasi, who's been visiting the park for many years.
Very interesting. You see these flowering?
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the huckleberries. Yeah, serviceberries, they are already red. This is the lime kill. So white flowers are the wild resin, rhododendron.
In the few hours we spent walking around the area, Akhtar showed me and described to me dozens of plant species, all while carrying this plastic bag that he used to pick up garbage left behind by other visitors. It was clear to me that for him, the value of the park was as an untouched wilderness, and that value would almost certainly be compromised by more people moving towards its boundaries. Birch Cove Blue Mountain Park is a beautiful place. There's no question about it. It should be a park. But the process to make that happen is a lot more complicated than just saying, bam, this is a park. To do that, you'd either have to have a lot of money to buy the land, or you'd have to force the landowners to give up their land. And those options don't really seem to be on council's plate right now.
And council can always vote to refuse this development, but the question still remains. How do you share land that has both private and public interests?
The last opportunity to give feedback on the Birch Cove Blue Mountain Report is July 4th. We're Planifax. Thanks so much for watching.